Parak Aleph of Shekalim, Mishnah Zayin. In our Mishnah, we continue discussing this idea of the Kalbon, which is the added fee that a person would have to pay when he gives money on behalf of his friend. And we learned in the last Mishnah that the machlok between Rabbi Meir and the Chachamim about who has to give the Kalbon. We're not going to go over it again. You can look back at the last Mishnah if you'd like to know. So the Mishnah says the following, the basic law. Hashokel al yedei ani, al yedei shcheno, al yed ben iro, patur. But if you pay for a poor person, for your neighbor, for a person, for your fellow city man, okay, for anybody else, you're patur, the Bartunura says, patur kevan shenoten lehem b'matana, if you're paying as a gift. So remember that this is what we learned in the last Mishnah, that if you pay derech halva'ah, you're chayav. If it's a loan, you have to pay the kalbon. If it's a gift, then you're patur, and that's what the Mishnah says. V'im hilvam chayav. But if you lend the money, then you're chayav. So this Mishnah is just a completion of the previous Mishnah. Another idea. Ha'achim v'ashutafim shechayavim bekalbon p'turim mima'aser behema. If you have brothers or partners, shechayavim, or the Bartanur has a version of chayavim bekalbon, brothers or partners have to pay a kalbon, but then they're exempt from ma'aser behema. But ukishechayavim b'ma'aser behema, if they're chayav in ma'aser behema, p'turim min kalbon. Then they don't have to pay kalbon. I'll explain what in the world is going on here. So the halacha is the following: when sons, okay, if you have sons, a person, God forbid, dies and he leaves his possessions to his children. So as long as the brothers haven't split it up, they haven't said, okay, we're going to divide it up. You take X, I'll take Y. You take this, I'll take that. As long as they haven't split it up, the possession, the inheritance still remains as an inheritance. It's as if the father still owns it. So the ha'achim, the sheter mechilku, they have yet to divide up the Yerusha. So what is the law of the money? In some ways, not in every, of course, but nechshavim ha'nechasim ki'ilu hem adayin b'reshut ha'av. It says it's still in the possession of the father. Okay, so if they haven't yet, that's if they haven't split it up. But if they have split up the Yerusha, if they've already divided, you take this or you take that, or and then but then they said afterwards, you know what? I got A, you got B, but let's be partners. Let's make a business. Let's have a partnership. So they are shutafim megilim. They are regular partners. I have half the business and you have half the business. So then the halacha is that for ma'aser behema, in the case of ma'aser behema, if they're regular partners, they're exempt from ma'aser behema. Okay, why are they exempt from ma'aser behema? So achim sheh, the Bartunura says sheh shutafim chayavim b'kabon. Let's skip the kabon for a second. Why are they p'turim in ma'aser behema? Any animals that are noladot, kol yemei shitufam. If I have a business and I go in with a partner and we have animals, einam shvichim ma'aser. They're not chayav in ma'aser because it says yelecha in the pasuk. The pasuk is about, I'm going to read from the Hati. The pasuk is chol ma'aser bakar utzon kol asher yavor tachat hashevet asiri yihiyeh. So the verse yihiyeh, the tense should be lecha. It should be for you. V'lo shel shutfut. So the Chazal exempt you from shutfut, from partners. Partnership, for whatever reason, doesn't have to pay ma'aser behema. That's our chart. If they're partnership, then they're patur and ma'aser behema. But, okay, what about kalbon? So we learned they're regular partners. I pay for you, you pay for me. But I only have half of the partnership. So in that case, they're chayav in kalbon. That's what the Mishnah said. Ha'achim ha'shutafim. Let's skip to the second part. Shechayavim b'ma'aser behema. Excuse me. To read mima'aser behema, they're chayavin and kalbon. The Mishnah just says it the other way around. Achim ashutafim shechayav bekalbon. They have to pay kalbon because they're regular partners. They're patur mima'aser behema. That we learn now from the pasuk. They don't pay ma'aser behema. But kishechayavin b'ma'aser behema. When are they chayav in ma'aser behema? If they haven't split up the money yet. This is a bartunur. Hainuk shelo chilku. They didn't split it up. They didn't divide it. Shas chayavin b'ma'aser. They have to pay ma'aser. Why? This tfusat habayit. It still belongs to the household, like it's their father's. So if they're chayav in ma'aser behema, then they're p'turim min kalbon. They're exempt from the kalbon. Let's look at why are they, okay, if they're chayav in ma'aser behema, why are they p'turim? Because it's like the father who pays as a matana for their children. Anybody who pays as a gift and not a halva'ah, they're exempt from the kalbon. Okay, the Mishnah continues. Third law, the kamahu kalbon. How much is a kalbon? Ma'a kesef. Look at the Bartunura for a second. Echad me'esim va'arba'a besela. 1/24 of a selah. So let's go back to our chart. How much is a selah? Let's remind you. A selah was the same as the value of the shekel in the Torah. So you give half a selah, okay, a chatzi, a shekel, which is 2 selah, Okay, 1 shekel is 2 selah, is 2 dinar, which is 4 selah. You get it, okay? So you have 1 shekel of the Mishnah, it would be 2 selah. If you pay 2 selah, that's the equivalent of 2 shekel, which is how much? Which is twice the amount you have to pay to fulfill machazit a shekel. So how much is the kalbon? 1/24 of the selah, according to the first opinion, which is 1/12 of the shekel. You have to give a shekel plus a 12. That's the first opinion, according to Divrei Rabbi Meir. The Chachamim omim chetzi. No, it's not 1/24. Okay, not ma'ar. It's 1/48. The Bartenura says echad mishmoneh ba'arba'im. 1/48 of a selah, half of that amount. So it's just a small amount. But remember, people were poor. They didn't have money. The chatzi shekel was a large amount for them. So even 1/24 or even 1/48 of that was a lot. So I'm sure many of them found ways either to give on their own, or to give as gifts, or to find a Kohen who would give for you and ask him to do the halva'ah, or a woman, or whatever. If they're giving, that was one of the, I guess it's interesting, if I think about it, maybe one of the services the Kohen offered. You give me a truma, and he say, you know what, but you give machazit shekel on my behalf, and that takes care of the little kalbon that I'd owe on the other hand. That's totally kosher. Stop here and dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha B'Yitzchak Kalman, and I should Tzipor Afega Matilda Bar Nachum Elimelech. And if you have any comments or questions on the Kalbon, these are very hard concepts. They're hard to describe. I hope I explained it in a way that's clear. Feel free to email me at rspolter@gmail.com.